is an outgoing fifth grader who shows signs of a pretty normal child. He's an only child to a single mother who is constantly working. Billy goes to school and he does his homework. Although he takes a lot of time to do his homework, he's always done an exceptional job in school. Last year, his teacher recommended him for advanced level classes. However, he was absent on the day that he was supposed to take the test. So he was forced to remain in basic level courses. This year, he has had a hard time staying on task in class because he's moving at a faster pace than the rest of the class and able to understand the material at twice the speed of the rest of the students. He has become restless and started to act out. Billy's teacher has called a conference with his mom and recommended that he put in after-school activities such as sports or maybe in an advanced daycare where he could play with children his own age. Due to the amount of time Billy has spent growing up by himself while a single mother is constantly at work, Billy doesn't socialize very well. So Billy's mother is forced to take a night job so she can spend some time during the day and help Billy socialize. With this, unfortunately, Billy has a hard time falling asleep by himself, and now he stays up later during the night. With no parent at home to tell him otherwise, after several weeks of this cycle persisting, Billy's teacher recommended his mom to a child physician. The physician comes to a startling conclusion. Billy suffers from a disease and he needs to be put on medication. The disease Billy suffers from is ADHD. Today I'm going to inform you about the ADHD disease. I'm also going to explain the symptoms and how to treat the disease. This example of an easily created chain reaction has led to many children across the United States being diagnosed with ADHD. ADHD, also known as attention deficit disorder, is said to cause children to lose focus easily, become highly active, and create trouble when trying to pay attention. According to the National Institute of Health, around 5% of Americans have currently been diagnosed with AD or ADHD. There are three main types of ADHD: inattentive type, hyperactive impulsive type, and the combined type of them both. A person that suffers from inattentive type ADHD may have difficulty following instructions, problems with organization, and tendency to lose things. And a child with a hyperactive ADHD may be an excessive talker and problems sitting still for long periods of time. The most common of ADHD is the combined type, which has characteristics of both. Now I'm gonna play you a YouTube clip so you can hear from two boys that have ADHD and see how it affects their life. Ain't nobody.
There's a knob.
Oh, ADD is extra. That's good. You have ADD?
Yes.
You know you got it?
Yeah.
How can you tell?
Well, when I get frustrated, I get overly frustrated sometimes. When I can't go to work, I shut down too easily, and I sometimes just have problems overall working and just keeping my anger under control.
I can't sit straight, like sit there for a while and not fidget, and I can't concentrate for a long time. And I can get distracted easily.
Sometimes it's harder.
Now that you know a little bit about the disease, I'm gonna go in further on how you be diagnosed with the disease. The diagnosis of ADHD does not consist of any type of lab work or any type of medical treatment. Any type of medical testing. simply because there is no medical testing for ADHD. Instead, the only way one can properly diagnose of having this disease is by filling out a questionnaire given by a physician. A questionnaire is the only thing standing between one healthy patient and one with the disease. The ADHD questionnaire consists of around 70 yes or no questions. More than 20 check items on the self-ADHD test and attention deficit disorder test indicates a strong tendency towards attention deficit disorder or attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. The questions on the test could easily pertain to any child, and just like we saw in Billy's case, could lead to wrong diagnosis of this disease. Such questions ask, does the child avoid group activity or organized sports? Has difficulty falling asleep? Is he or she frequently tired? Spends excessive time on homework? Easily bored? All these characteristics can all be found on an ADHD test of a child. Once you've been diagnosed with the disease, you didn't have to be treated just like any other disease. There are two forms of ADHD medication. You have the stimulants and the non-stimulants. Most of the time, the form of medication taken varies because most patients may have reactions to the stimulants that they might not see in a non-stimulant or vice versa. The most common of these medications are non-stimulants. The most common of the medications are the Ritalin and Enterol. Medications have been proven to help patients focus and produce extra chemicals in the brain that keeps patients attentive. In many cases, ADHD medications can help students pay more attention in class and perform better on tests. In the study, grade schools aged children with attention deficit hyperactive disorder who took medication and performed better on standardized math and reading tests than children with ADHD who did not take the medication. Conclusion. Today I've shared my knowledge with you about ADHD, how to spot the symptoms, and how to treat it. But I would like to leave y'all since we are the future and we are the future parents, with an opinion that sits on my mind. The disease known as attention deficit hyperactive disorder may not be a disease at all. Young children, especially when new to school at a younger age, tend to get bored. This is normal. Behavior that can be fixed with discipline. Young children tend to act out instead of looking at this situation as a disease that needs medication. The American public should try to get to the root of the problem.
All right, Jessica, what did you think?
I think the introduction of Billy got a little bit long, but he had a good definition for ADHD. Maybe he needs more variety in his speaking voice. I was glad he didn't play the whole YouTube clip, because I noticed it was like 3.5 minutes long. He had a good explanation of the ADHD test and the questions that are involved with it. His organization, I think, was okay, but I think it needs to be a little bit more refined.